Okay, let's have a little look at Robert Rock's driver technique. This footage was taken from the 2013 US Open qualifying at Walton Heath. Okay, so let's look at the down the line view of Robert's swing. Being a PGA professional, expect Robert to have some very good clean lines, good posture, bent from the hips, arms hanging down nicely. Very good position here. So let's have a quick look at Robert's backswing. So we look at the club face in the two, these two pictures here. Very, very neutral club face. Very good position here. Left arm goes across the chest a little bit on the way back. We can see the handle of the club above the right bicep as it reaches the top of the backswing. Looking at the club face here, very neutral position relative to his left arm. Looking at the head as he starts down, great squats. This is tilting his pelvis correctly, so he's pushing his bum back into this yellow line, so he gets a good anterior tilt of his pelvis. I kind of describe it simply as he's trying to turn his belt buckle down towards the ground as he starts the club's downswing. Hands work down, club shaft lays behind the hands, dropping the club head behind the hand path. Very, very good footwork here. Right foot up on its toe. Middle of his body is rotating. We can see his back right pocket there turning, rotating. Club face here, almost the same as what it was on the way back. Great forearm action through the ball. So we look at the club face here, almost a mirror opposite in the position on the follow through. Holds his head position here. Great side bend into the right side of his body, his right shoulder's near his right hip. Club shaft bisecting his torso as it comes back through. Fantastic dynamic action. So we obviously know that Robert is a European tour player, so his swing and the swing plane in particular, it's functional and it achieves results for Robert. Robert's season 2013 was a little bit down on his usual earnings. He was 330,000 euros compared to over 800,000 euros the season before, so wasn't quite his best season. Looking at his stats, Robert's driving distance 287.8 ranked him 104th in Europe for driving distance. Accuracy, he was ranked 50th on the European Tour with accuracy of 65%. So let's have a little look at Robert's power levers. Let's see he's utilising all the power moves on his backswing from the face-on position. So good takeaway. As the club shaft reaches this first position where it's level or parallel to the ground, we can see it doesn't look like there's any deliberate shift of his pressure onto his right foot. So it doesn't look like he's trying to push down heavily onto his right foot there. So his left shoulder won't travel as far back behind the golf ball as some of the power players. We can see that he gets a good turn of his upper body. His foreax here is a great turn. He turns past 90 degrees, so his back is facing the target. His hands are nice and high above his head here. His left arm is in a good straight position, so he's got a very good wide arc to his swing with a very powerful turn. As he starts down, there's a great squat. As we know, he tilts his pelvis correctly. The left side of his pelvis drops down as his left knee rotates outwards towards the target. While that's happening, he's definitely holding his right knee in a good position as well. So there's very minimal slide in Robert's action. It's very rotary from his middle and his body is rotating. His belt buckle's twisting towards the target. Great position here just before impact. A little bit of forward lean through the ball, which is a good position. His left leg doesn't get as straight as some. If we was to compare him to somebody like McIlroy, his left leg doesn't pull straight, so his pressure is probably a little bit over his toes and not quite into his left heel. So that will just tend to push his club's path a little bit outwards away from his body. But great forearm action as he releases the club. Great wide position post impact there. and he continues that right up to the top. So let's just go back here. Something I want to sort of highlight with Robert here. So I've put a little line on his left shoulder. So the amount of travel his left shoulder, what that does, when you get a lot of travel between the left shoulder back up to where it sort of gets to an impact, that creates a lot of speed in his left arm. So there's not a massive amount of travel in Robert's left shoulder there, because his pressure isn't loaded over his right foot as much as some of the big hitters. So the left shoulder travels into its position here just before impact, and as all good players do, the left shoulder now is going to pull up, 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 and then around behind his left ear, which allows him just to get a bit more speed through the shaft into the club head and into the ball. And again, top right of the screen in the close-up, we can see the deliberate squat. So we look at this tree branch here, we can see the deliberate squat and the correct pelvis move with Robert on his way down. And then as his pressure tries to shift back a little bit, his head just shifts back behind the ball as he releases the club. So all in all, a functional swing by, Robert here. He's a great player on the European Tour, but maybe just not utilising his power levers as much as he should.